All right, guys, welcome to the Who's Who podcast. I am your host, Robinson Galvez, professional fighter and content creator. I've been getting a lot of love on the last few episodes. If you guys are enjoying the content, please like, share, and subscribe what you're seeing. Share it. Go listen to it on Spotify. Tell your friends about it because if you're enjoying it, I want to make sure more people are listening to this type of stuff, right? I have a very special guest with me today. He is coming off of a couple big wins over at Fairtex Fight. A leg kick TKO and a very dominant points win, and he's got a very big fight coming up, and so I'm really excited to chop it up today. Welcome, Ellis Barboza.
Hey, mate.
Nice
To be here.
Yeah, I want to get like a little horn so I can like do that little everyone that messes with the audio too much.
Jeff will go viral.
Yeah, I know, I want it, but for now it's the mouth noises. But yeah, bro. So you're coming off of some like really impressive stuff, and I just met you. Just got here. What was it? A few weeks ago?
Yeah. Been here a month now. Yeah.
A month. Okay. So you came to Fairtex, which is where we met, right? That's where I'm training. Where you're training right now. And in a month, you've had 2 fights.
Yeah.
Coming off of 2 wins.
Yeah.
Like, what does it feel like? How do you feel right now, man?
I feel good, man. Yeah, because last year I had some like really hard fights and a bit of a character test. So now to come back to like 2 wins in the space of a month and good performances as well, it feels good to be honest. Yeah,
nice.
And also like fighting in Thailand under Fairtex at Lumpini. There's many variables that just make it feel good.
Yeah, definitely. So on these fights last year, how many fights did you have last year?
I had 3 fights.
Three
fights. Yeah.
And how was that? Like as far as wins and losses go?
So I had 3 losses.
Okay.
So back to back, but like a couple of them I thought I won, and then some were like bad performance. So it was like a test of character. It was like, well, even when I think I win, I lost, and then sometimes I lose. It was to come back and then fight strong was like what I needed.
Yeah, I can see that because sometimes with when you start fighting, like people will quit after 1 loss. So that's why like for me like the whole like undefeated streak thing isn't that impressive because if you lose, will you come back and bounce back? Like, can you come back from this win? Can you learn from it? Can you build on it? And then can you go on another run?
Exactly.
That kind of thing. I think that's a lot more impressive.
Yeah. I think you need it sometimes. Like, you strip yourself back and like you look at yourself like, what are you doing? Like, can you do this? And it builds your character even more.
Oh, 100%.
If you're just winning, you can get complacent and stuff. And like, not saying I was necessarily doing things bad, but you still look at yourself and like check. Well, what can I do better? And how can I improve?
Yeah, I get that.
You know 100%. What I'm
saying? Yeah, 100%, bro. So walk me through getting fights out here, right? So you come to Fairtex, you're training for a couple weeks or a week. How long was it before you got your first fight?
Well, I was here a week, and then I just said to the trainer, "Look, I want to fight now. Get me a fight quick."
Yeah.
I just wanted to get one done. Because as you know, I've got the fight in August, so my plan was come to Thailand.
And the August fight is what?
August fight is for WBC European.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. So like the plan was to come here, rack up a load of fights, wins. So when I go to that fight, I'm fresh and feeling good.
Hell yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So you're here about a week. You say I want to fight, and then a week later you're fighting, or was it 2 weeks later?
Yeah, a week and a half. So first week, I think it was in the first week. I said, "Get me a fight soon," and then he contacted someone for Fairtex fight, and he got me a fight the following week. So it was like 2 weeks of training basically.
Yeah.
And then I won that one first round stoppage with leg kick.
Yeah.
And obviously I was fresh.
Yeah.
So then I said to him, and the boss at Fairtex also said, "You want to fight soon?" I said, "Yeah, okay, let's go." So then another 2 weeks, and they got me another fight.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so
sick,
good,
bro.
man. So you have to do, innit?
Yeah, dude. That first fight was dope. Leg kick stoppage. Like that's like a bucket list item I have not been able to check off yet. I was like, damn, dude, that's sick. Like I always love seeing those stoppages because I think those like TKOs, like liver shot or like leg kick or something, those kind of things.
Yeah.
Like you can't do anything about. Like what are you gonna do? You can't. You almost like you feel like a wuss.
Yeah.
And like, dude, bro, like I could still fight, I swear, but you can't. You can't. It's a lot more satisfying than like putting people to sleep. Like I think personally, I don't know, that's maybe
because you see them quit, right? Where it's like people can say a knockout sometimes is a lucky shot or whatever, but you make someone quit, it's like, okay, well, that's what I've done to you.
yeah. When we were like, you never hear somebody say like, oh, at least personally, I've never heard somebody say like, he got me with a liver shot, but I could have won. Like it's like, Hey, liver or like a
Done
low
me.
kick. Yeah, done, right? But like when you get knocked out, oh yeah, lucky shot. You never, yeah, like exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not. You can't like back it up with anything. If you get knocked out of the liver, like a low kick, it's like I didn't check.
Yeah.
It's like lucky low kick. What the? Come on, unless you snap the shin, but
Oh,
but
man.
that low kick was just like boom, 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 4, 5, 6, and then done.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, that was your bad. I'm better than you at this.
Yeah, sick, man.
Yeah.
My mate was showing me in the before the fight some videos of some guy who had like an indent in his shin from leg kicks and all sorts. I was like, why are you showing me this just before I go to fight?
Yeah.
It's not what I want to see.
Have you had that? I've had that before.
I haven't had anything severe, to be honest.
Damn.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Lucky, bro. I know we can talk about my shit another time, but I've gone through my own string of injuries lately, so man, that's awesome. Like, good for you so far, and you're doing really well in your career as well. So it's good that nothing like that's happened. You just keep going straight forward, eyes ahead, and full steam ahead, and keep working, right?
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. And that second fight that you had, that was a very impressive fight too at Fairtex fight, because it was a couple weeks later. I mean, the first fight ended pretty quick, but that second fight, like, it really showed, I think, a more well-rounded version of yourself.
Yeah.
It was really, really impressive, really clean, aggressive. You were really calculated and just doing some damage, man. That was a really fun fight to watch.
Yeah, appreciate that, bro. Yeah.
How do you feel about that fight? Like, how did you feel going into it? Like, how did you feel during, after? Like, break it down for me.
Yeah. Before I was like, I was excited, man, because I was fighting a Thai.
Yeah.
I always like to fight Thais. I was pretty fresh after the first fight, so no injuries and stuff. So I knew I could still like smash that one.
Yeah.
I knew he wouldn't be a mug, so I had to be like smart the first round, just check. And I knew he was no walkover. So like in the ring, I could see first he was like a fighter. He weren't just gonna fold like the first fight. You know what I mean? And I could see certain shots he was looking for, like elbow and stuff. So I was just trying to be more smart, like less risk, not just stupid risk and pressure, and just be more calculated, as you said.
Yeah.
But I cut him in the first round with an elbow.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the opening. I was trying for the right for a while. And it didn't work. Yeah. And then I thought I'll catch the kick, so he can't go back, and then smash him, and it worked. Yeah. Cut him, and then that kind of changed the dynamic, I think. Yeah. I think he was wary then a little bit. Yeah. And then I had to chance to practice some new things like southpaw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that.
I'm not a natural southpaw, but my left kick was working, so I was like, I enjoy southpaw in sparring. Like it's my play mode. Mm. If I ever want to have some fun, I go southpaw. I don't know why, I feel more slick in southpaw. Yeah. So I thought, I'll do that. And basically just put on a good performance, making him miss, kicking him. Very well rounded, as you said. Yeah. It just showed your ring IQ. Yeah. Cause I seen you on pads and you look good on pads. Yeah. But I was like, a lot of people look good on pads. I never judge people off of pads anymore. Yeah. I had a fight where I was at a tournament and there was this guy throwing all these crazy kicks and just spin techniques. I was like, man, I hope I don't fight that guy. I was afraid, bro. Yeah. And then that guy lost, and then I beat the guy that beat him pretty easily. And I was like, okay. On pads is good and also you've been around the sport for a while, and you see a lot of gym killers. Yeah. They're great in the gym. You get in the ring, they're like, oh, it's frozen. What do I do? Yeah. Kind of thing. So, but you look great on pads, and then just seeing the TKO, I was like, bro, you're aggressive. And then it showed it was almost like seeing two different sides of your style. And that first one was aggressive, entertaining, I'll finish you, and the second one was I'll also entertain you while I'm doing all this tricky slick shit. It's it was cool. It's almost it was a just a different dynamic, which it was very fun to watch because I was expecting another just crazy fighter.
Yeah, and then you weren't. You were just going straight forward. I mean, you were just playing with the guy almost. It felt Yeah. Again, the guy wasn't a pushover. The guy was great. Wasn't he only 5 losses in 60 fights or something like that?
Some of it, he had a decent record. Yeah. I knew from before the fight. You can sometimes just tell. You look at someone, you think, he ain't gonna just fall over, what I mean? Yeah. And I knew before when I was in the change room, I was like, okay, he's gonna be decent. Yeah. Just have to be smart. Can't just go in there and steamroll people. Yeah. I've made that mistake before because I know I can hit hard, and I had a lot of finishes when I was younger. Uh-huh. And then I've made the mistake before. Sometimes you go too much aggressive, and then you make a mistake, or you get clipped with an elbow, you get cut, or you can't. It's not wise. You got to be clever.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So how long have you actually been training? I don't actually know.
10 years.
10 years?
10, 11 years, yeah.
Okay, and you just had a birthday actually,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
2 days ago.
Yeah. 23 now?
23 now.
So you started when you were 12.
12, yeah.
Okay.
I started in kickboxing for a year.
Okay.
But nothing too serious.
Okay.
And then my mate had a Muay Thai, was at a Muay Thai gym, so I just followed him there, and it was from that point just only Muay Thai.
Yeah,
it happens to everyone, I think.
Yeah, it's the most like satisfying thing, unless you really like boxing or something. But it's the most like you get to use so many things, and you have so many things to work on constantly, and it's like nice to diversify. It feels like it doesn't really get stale, especially when you're a beginner, since you're like, oh, my kick's not good, or maybe my kick is good, my punches suck, or there's always like a dimension where you're like, oh, I can work on that, which is exciting when you're a beginner,
For sure.
Yeah, I think that's cool. So you got about 10 years experience. How many fights do you have total?
From young, probably around 80, with like
80 fights
with junior fight, and then like amateur with Shimpa, like this. But I turned professional when I was 15. It's common in the UK, like as soon as you're good, any younger fighter, like that's kind of like the next step. There's not like much of an amateur scene, and we don't really go to the IFMA and stuff in the UK. It's a shame because you'd get more experience. But as soon as you're good, it's like, okay, now you go for adults. So 15, I started fighting like adults and international opponents.
Yeah,
my coach would fly them over to fight. And then I built my name in the UK, became UK number 1 at bantamweight, 53.5. And then I moved to Dubai, and I was there for 2 years. And I was mainly flying around for opponents and stuff, because the scene there is not too good. Yeah. Not many shows.
In UK?
No, this is in Dubai.
In Dubai,
so,
okay,
I moved to Dubai for 2 years, and I was flying to like Australia, I came to Thailand. I had offers in the UK, because there's not many shows. But yeah, that got a bit stale, mate. So then Thailand's the next place.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. So why? Okay, so you're. I want to backtrack a little bit, but I do want to talk about you moving to Dubai.
Yeah.
There's you turned professional. First, I want to address this because in America, you cannot be a professional fighter if you're not 18 years of age.
This is the thing, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very strange. I actually know he's made a lot of headlines. Raul Rosas. He's a youngest UFC fighter. He was 17 on Dana White's Contender Series and was signed. He got his contract at 17 and first professional fight at 18 in the UFC. Yeah. Very impressive prospect, really good on the ground. But he had his professional fights in Mexico. So he was 15, 16. And he won a big tournament in what IMMAF or something like, it's like that. They're IFMA. The MMA people was IFMA.
Yeah.
And he won gold, and he's like, I'm already the best teenager, so like, what's the point? Like, I'll just wait till I'm an adult and turn pro or whatever. Yeah. But then they got the idea to go to fight in Mexico because they don't have to. It's like Canelo, he was like 15, 16, racking up pro fights. And so they went over there and I'm kind of seeing like maybe that's the new wave, like going over and getting the fights where they will allow you to be professional. In the UK, they're just let you go full on no pads as a pro, or is it like in other countries in Europe where you're professional but still fighting with shin guards and like elbow pads?
There's like a grey area, so you're supposed to be 18, but like it's basically like you just say you're 18, and it's two people just agree. But
you just say you're 18.
Yeah, but like in the UK we have something called C class, B class, A class. You know about this?
Yes.
So C class, no elbow, no knee to the face. B class, knee to the face. A class, you can do everything.
And this is a professional?
This is all professional, but they're just elements of it. So you start with C, so no elbow, B class. Maybe you have 1 or 2, depending on how good you are. Okay, then you go B class. All right, now you knee to the face. Again, then it's like, okay, now we'll just go A class. And if you're under 18, you're just sort of saying, yeah, I'm 18, it's all right. And no one's really checking, to be honest, like, because they know you're good. Like the referees, the judges, they've probably seen you fight on shows since you was young. They know you're ready for that. The country knows you're ready, so it kind of just happens. Yeah, it's happened to all fighters, to be honest.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's sick, bro.
But like you look at it, and like over here they're fighting young professional. But there's always that argument. I still think of it now. What's better, going pro young, or having loads of amateur experience? Like look at someone like Lomachenko in boxing. Yeah. What is it, like 400 amateur fights or something?
Yeah.
And he lost 2, whatever.
And his whole career, amateur and pro, lost 5 fights.
There you go.
Yeah.
And look at the level of him. And you see it with a lot of Muay Thai fighters in other countries who do the amateur fights, their level is high.
Yeah.
You get that ring time, you know. Sometimes you go into an event, 4 fights in a week, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really good, but it's an interesting one. Yeah.
That's a debate. That's a big debate in America right now because we have amateur and professional.
Yeah.
You know, and they're trying to do the classes, but with amateurs. When you're professional, it's just like everything. So when you decide you're pro, full on. Like there's no. So I have a question about the classes for as a pro. Can you just turn pro and say I'm A class, or do you have to work your way through the ranks or get a certain amount of wins under a class in order to move up?
It kind of used to be like that. Like it was kind of like okay, C class. Oh, he's won a few. Now we'll put him to B class. Okay, now he's ready for A class. When I was a kid, A class. Wow, only the elite were A class fighters in the UK. You know, but I think the dynamic's changing a bit now. Like I've seen some shows they're doing. I think this is better. They're doing full Thai rules with no pads, which is normal Muay Thai.
Yeah, and
they're trying to do like a pro-am with elbow pads. So there's no in between, like where you're not throwing elbows and then all of a sudden you get to A class and you start throwing elbows because then you're not used to it. Yeah. So they're trying to implement that, even sometimes shin pad fights but with elbow pads or no shin pads but still with elbow pads. So everyone's throwing elbows. Yeah. So it's slowly changing, which is better for the sport, better for the progress. Yeah. You know.
It's very cool because it feels like, I don't know, I'm an outsider looking in, just from what I've heard. It sounds like in the UK they're actually really trying to push the sport forward. You know, as far as like make better fighters and like making like just like better, just more entertaining and just providing spaces and events for fighters. Am I correct?
Sure. Yeah, it seems popping in the UK. Like, I can't lie, the UK, we're one of the best outside of Thailand. Yeah. You can't dispute that. Like,
yeah, a lot of wins right lately.
Yeah, we are. We're doing well. Like Haggerty, but winning titles. The roster on ONE FC.
Were you there for that one?
I wasn't. No.
Oh, dude, it was insane in there, bro. It was electric.
No one really thought he was going to do it. Like we all know he's good, but like Nongo 10-fight win streak. Yeah, he's made like meat of everyone in the division, really, hasn't he? And then like for Haggerty to move up a division and do that, hats off to him, man. Yeah, like, but that shows the development of the UK.
Yeah, yeah. I'm asking that because in the States, there's a big debate. Yeah. There's like obviously the amateur pro thing, and I've stayed amateur. I did most of my career at amateur because I saw that there's no pro shows. You know, it's like people go pro and they're like just because they want to go pro and say that they're pro. Yeah, but I was like, I had no choice but to stay amateur in a way because I'm a career fighter. I want to develop as right. So for the people that are coming under me now that I'm a professional, and I'm like, the sanctioning bodies are the reason that the sport won't grow in America right now. So they almost butt heads. Like I would have loved to say that I'm a WBC state champion or WBC national champion or world champion, that kind of thing. But they won't let the WBC in. They won't let the actual sanction body in. So it's an relatively unknown sanctioning body. So my titles mean nothing. You know, like if I told you my titles, you'd be like, "What? Who?" Yeah. Right? So
this happening everywhere though.
Yeah,
this happening in Spain. Someone was going to put on a show, JP. He arranged the whole show, Spanish fighters flying UK fighters to Spain, and I don't know the organisation, but one in Spain basically was like, no, you can't use WBC, it's not legit.
He's like, what? Yeah,
you know, and like this organisation is absolutely phony. Like no one's heard of it. Yeah, they're trying to control Spain. His show got cancelled, man. Yeah, they wouldn't let it happen without them involved. Yeah. Yeah. And it's God knows what he had to spend and lose, but like it's a shame. And this was in fight week.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like they were calling the venues, like cannot happen.
Yeah,
big headache, man.
I bet. I mean, I'm in one of the hot spots in America, which is California, and there's a sanctioning body. Like there's obviously the California State Athletic Commission. So like every state has their state athletic commission, and they have to go right. So there's no way around that. But for the amateurs, like people are coming from New York where they can just corner. Like you have to pay to be a corner in California. You have to pay some. There's a bunch of fees. There's a lot of things that like. There's a lot of organizations that are trying to come in and make Muay Thai better. For example, USMF, who is the doorway into IFMA, like USMF, WBC, and these are all organizations that I would be proud to be a champion under. You know, and don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for the opportunity to have been competing and to be fighting, and like I'm a champion, but those titles almost mean nothing because the sanctioning body behind it has no legitimacy. You know, but they're blocking the road for legit people. It's like for legit organizations like WBC or something or USMF to come in and like really just take over and do it, but it's a power grab. Like it's cash, right? Someone's getting paid, so they don't want to let nobody in. Like I don't want to give up this money or whatever, you know. So it's very frustrating. But it seems like in the UK they're really pushing the sport forward. A lot more stars are coming out, especially with opportunities like one. A lot of people from the UK are coming on. They're putting on, you know. They're like they're showing that there's real talent. So naturally, Chatri is going over there and looking like who else y'all got, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah, it's sick.
There's like 4 guys in every division, probably all the same weight from the UK. Potentially might end up fighting each other. It's really good, man.
Yeah, it's sick, bro. So you were talking about moving over to Dubai.
Yes.
Right. So you're a fighter, and like this is your career, yes?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because you're a career fighter. This is all you want to do. So why move from UK, where it seems like things are popping, and move over to Dubai? Like, what would be the reason behind that?
Yeah. So it was a bit spontaneous. It was after COVID. I went for a holiday.
Okay.
And there was not an event in the UK for around a year. And I went to Dubai for this holiday, and they offered me like a fight. There was an event. They needed fighters. And so I didn't go there to fight. I was just sort of on vacation. But they needed fighters, and they said, "Would you do it?" I was like, "Of course, yeah. I haven't fought for a year."
Yeah.
So I took the fight. It was on UAM, and the promotion was like insane. Like you have like live stream. The production was really good. They just treated you really well.
Yeah.
And I won the fight. And then there was a coach there, Jason. He was like, "Oh, why don't you stay in Dubai and fight here?" And obviously, because the show was so good, I was like, "Yeah, this is dope. I'll stay here, fight on this show, you know, build my name because it good exposure and stuff."
Yeah.
And that was good for a while. I had 2 fights there, but then that show finished, and then I fought on Infusion as well there. So for a while, it was pretty good fights, good shows. But then the events died off a little bit. So then I was only getting opportunities abroad, but luckily I was, so I could still fight.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just went a bit stalemate there, like because the Muay Thai scene is not too big, and also when you're not going to events all the time, you feel like you're out of the loop. It's mad, like even just going to see someone else fight, you forget how much that ignites your passion. You know?
Yeah, I get it.
So in Dubai, it's more like MMA. It's still good, but it's just for strict. If you want to go for strict Muay Thai, it's just lacking that a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, so my idea was to come to Thailand now and get some fights.
Yeah.
And fight more. The other reason I left the UK is that I was already UK #1. So like I'd pretty much already beaten most of the lads there at my weight because I'm 50. Can fight at 54 kilo at the time.
Yeah.
So there's not loads of opponents in England at that weight.
Yeah.
So I always knew there's gonna be a time I need to come to Thailand.
Yeah.
Endless amount of fights in Asia for me. You know?
Yeah.
Like Japan, China, Thailand, and hard fights.
Yeah.
To test me.
Yeah.
So it was a matter of time. Before I moved to Dubai, it was always kind of Thailand on my mind anyway.
Yeah.
And then that Dubai thing happened spontaneously.
You
know, so but it was good. I learnt a lot there. It's a nice place for sure.
Yeah.
I'd recommend. It's like more like a chilled holiday place.
Yeah. I mean, we hear the legends back home, you know.
Yeah.
But, it looks really fun. Looks like a cool place to be. It looks freaking hot, but you know.
It is, man. In the summer. Now is not a good time to be there.
Yeah. All right. Good noted. No, not that I could go there anyways. But so how did you make? So you just literally went for a holiday.
Yeah.
And then you just went to a random gym that you found in Dubai to get training, and they got you a fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was a little bit lucky. I met one friend there from Birmingham, my city. And he sort of took care of me, and then he introduced me to Jason Woodham, who's from London.
Okay.
So although I was in Dubai, I didn't really feel like it because I was with British people.
Oh, okay.
You know, like, and I knew them anyway mutually, and like it kind of just slotted in. Like sometimes you come to say for Thailand, you're with Thai people, you really feel like you're in a foreign country, right?
Yeah.
But in Dubai, it weren't like that. So I just slotted in with them, and he took care of me, got me an opportunity, and it kind of just natural progression. He said, "Oh, well, you can work in the gym." Stay here. So I was like also a coach in Dubai for a while.
Okay.
It's a good place for that as well. And then it just run its course for after a while.
Yeah.
So then now Thailand.
Yeah, nice, man. Thailand is definitely a good place to be. You know.
Yeah.
We actually had Meg Washam on the podcast like last week, and she was talking about how she's just a fan of how like following open doors. You know, he's like,
This is
like
me in a nutshell, bro.
yeah, it's like it's not even calculated. It's just like it was just there, and I was like, why not?
Imagine like for this fight. So I had 10 days in Dubai.
Yeah.
They offered me this fight, and in that 10 days finished at my hotel.
Mm-hmm.
My mate was like, "Oh, just alright, just come sleep on my sofa."
Yeah.
So I slept on this sofa for 2 weeks before that fight, and then I decided to stay in Dubai, but I had nothing sorted. Yeah. I spent all of my money I had in England to get to Dubai for that vacation. So my idea was, okay, I'll do this vacation, and I'll come back and I'll work.
Yeah.
That money ran out quick in Dubai, but it's expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine.
You know what I mean? So then, luckily, my mate, I always thank you for this. He said, "Oh, it's all right. Whilst you're setting yourself up here, just sleep on my sofa for a while until you get your own place and that." So again, that was unplanned. So I just followed it. I thought, yeah, fine. I'll sleep on this sofa. 3 months I stayed on that sofa.
Oh, damn.
Until I was like sorted, and then I managed to get some money from clients and then get my place. You know?
Yeah.
But unplanned. You know, but it was a blessing.
Yeah.
If I'd have probably gone from the UK planning it and overthinking it, probably would never have happened.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I think a lot of people hold themselves back in their own mind, you know, because sometimes like, man, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? And where I was going to with this is like another thing she said is like you just have to create your own path. Like I don't know if she said it on the podcast or in a personal conversation, but she's like, I just want, even if I do it my own way, like I know, like, because she's works at Google, like it's a very, you know, she has like a job, you know, it's just like a very serious hobby, you know, like, but she won gold at IFMA here in Thailand, so she that as a walk-on, you know, like she shouldn't have even been there, but she's like, if I have to be if I have to do it my own way and I don't get to where I need to be, quote unquote, you know, or like I don't care about that. I just want a life. I want to live a life that I'm happy of and that I'm proud of. Like I wake up every day and I'm excited. And it's like, and if that means like I'm working at my job that I love and also doing this thing that I love, and maybe I don't get to the highest levels, like I'm fine with that. But I'm gonna be scrappy about it. I'm not just gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna get there. I'm gonna work and I'm gonna get there. But I'm gonna do it my own way. I'm not gonna listen. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go. You have to do this or you have to do that. You know. And it just seems like you're kind of doing the same thing. It's like in the back of your mind, Thailand is here. Like you wanted to come here, but you're not like limiting yourself because you weren't in Thailand. Yeah. You were still scrappy and getting opportunities and making connections, you know?
This is it, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I would take. Sometimes I think life puts you in a path. Like that 2 years, I built so many connections and built my life in different ways, business and stuff. And then now coming to Thailand from the position that built, I'm in a better place here now than what I would have been coming 2 years ago. Yeah. You know, it was like an effective move.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, it's almost like when, I think about like, maybe like they say in LA, like in LA, there's a bunch of people that are too good for their hometown. Yeah. You know, they just like got a big head. Like I'm the biggest thing from, you know, a town with 8,000 people or whatever, you know, so you just like show up. It's almost, but no, and I'm not saying that like shooting a shot or nothing. It's more like building that up and coming, and you're a little bit more of a somebody. Yeah, you have more of a presence, and then that automatically opens more doors. Because I think when you're almost like maybe the A side is the best way to say it off the top of my head. When you're someone that's like, people are on their best behavior, you know. Like if I was The Rock, that guy gets to meet everybody. Like he gets to see the best version of everybody, you know, because everyone's like, oh, The Rock, you know. So I don't know if he ever gets that, like, man, you know, you can't get a table, you know, kind of thing.
Of course, man. Like life is about leverage at the end of the day in every situation. Yeah. You know, everyone. I've been to gyms where people have said, oh, that gym's not good, and I've been treated fine. Yeah. You know, and vice versa. Yeah. Some people have loved the gym and I've not liked it there. Yeah. And that happens with loads of things in life. It just depends on the situation for you at the time, your leverage and stuff, you know. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's good, man. Like, I think that's something that people don't take into account. And it's like, bro, like I'm gonna be the best fighter. I'm like, bro, how's your socials? How's your record? How's your reputation in the sport? Like, do people like you? You know, like people are trying to put you on, and it's like, I'm just gonna go to Thailand, everything's gonna be better. I'm like, bro, if people don't like you here, it makes you think they're gonna like you there. And relationships is a key. Like, that's one thing I like to do. I like to build relationships with as many people as possible. Like sometimes I'm just inquisitive. I'll meet someone and I'll make sure I know about them. Yeah, you know, because you never know who you're gonna meet. Yeah, like the guy who brought me here, Sam from youth. He he sorted my training and everything, and we've been speaking for 2 years.
Oh, nice.
From U Sport Gear, so shout out to them.
Yeah.
Go check their gear out.
Yeah, they got some sweet stuff.
Yeah. He just through having a good working relationship with him, now I'm able to be here and like train and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you, like, you seem to be someone that's really good at networking. You have like your own podcast.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to get into Muay Thai Magic a little bit later because I really want to deep dive into that.
Yeah.
But you've done really good like on your social media. You've done really good at networking. Like I was listening to your podcast, like an episode before you got here, and I was like, Liam, like the lineup. I was like, what the heck, bro? Like this is crazy. Like, you know. So how does that come about? Like how do you? I mean, a lot of those people, some of them are British people, like they're from Europe. But how do you make these connections if you're not meeting them like one-to-one, or do you? Is the scene so small there that you get to meet people like this?
You know, when I interviewed Liam Harrison, I didn't know him at the time very well. It was like, because this was when I was in England. So I wanted to start a podcast. My personality is very much, if I'm going to do something, I do it in the deep end. I do the hardest one first. You know? So I was like, I'm going to do a podcast. I'm going to get Liam Harrison first. And then when it came to it, I was like nervous, bro. Like, I was interviewing him. I've never interviewed anyone in my life. Yeah. I'm on Instagram Live. That's how we did it as well. Yeah. So he's got followers, bro. Yeah. So all these followers coming, I'm seeing like thousands of views, and I'm just a young kid interviewing Liam Harrison. And I'm like, what's going on? Yeah. But since then, he came to Dubai. Now we're good mates. Like we just chat to each other on message and stuff.
Oh hell yeah.
But in terms of networking, I'm just very open. I'm not scared to message someone. Like my character is like, what's the harm in trying? If I want to do something, what's the worst that can happen? They say no. Yeah. You know, in anything, if you want something, go get it. That's it. And I was just very fortunate. Like, people are friendly. That's one thing you'll find. Like, when you really reach out, people help you. Like, don't overthink it. Yeah. You know, people are always going to make a path. So I was lucky. He said yes, and then I had 20 episodes on my podcast with all of the UK stars, and that helped me network. I think for sure, because then my brand as well, they started to wear my merch. Then my brand grew. Building relationships, that's all it is. Yeah. That's what business is. That's what everything is in life. It's relationships, people.
Yeah. No, you've done a really good job at that. Just looking at the presence, and like if you see the comment section on your, I'm like, whoa, hey yo, you know, and like I saw that Hamza is even rocking your stuff. I'm like, bro, what the heck is going on? Like, like it's funny because when I met you, you're very serious in the gym. You're very like about your work. And so you didn't seem like an approachable guy. You know, like you have like this RBF, bro. Like
I have a bitch face.
You got the RBF.
I've got a bitch face.
Yeah, but then when I chopped it up with you a little bit, I like it was like our first conversation was probably a little bit more like stern, like you know, so like. But then the next time we talk, you have this very like kid energy that I can appreciate because I have the same kind of like I'm just trying to retain like I don't want to grow up. I'm talk to my girlfriend, you're like. Literally, he does not want to grow up, you know, like, so you have this very, like, kid, just, like, very alive energy about you, but, it was just, but I remember just, like, thinking back on meeting you, I was like, man, I don't know if this guy, like, I don't know what's this guy's deal, like, he's very serious, but it's not like you're a jerk or anything, you're just about your business, you're coming in, you're wrapping up your hands, good, all right, let's go, I'm warming up, like, there's no time in between that you're like slacking off or anything. You're really about it, you know. You're working your ass off.
That's what I try to do. Yeah, in the gym, it's just like work time. Yeah. Especially because I was coming into a new environment as well, so it's like let's get to work. You know, don't turn up and start looking like you're the guy who's just chatting and about. You know what I mean? But yeah, once you get to know people, like I get to know people fast, and I can build relationships quick. I'm lucky like that. Yeah. I'm happy I can do that. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
It's an important part of the business, especially because. Not the sport even because since it's so small, you have to be scrappy. You have to make the connections, you know. I mean, I think it's with any sport, anything that you really do. But there's so little opportunities and there's so little money, I would say, in the sport so far. And don't get me wrong, it's blowing up, you know, like with things that one's doing and like everyone's moving out here, and you know, it's like starting to be like this like snowball effect of like everyone's starting to put their biggest stars on the show and go at it, you know, and fight for a decent purse. Starting to be some stuff like that, but there is one show, you know, where you're gonna get decent money. So everyone's trying to get on the one show. So I think that when you're popping up and you're networking and you're being scrappy, you're doing everything, and you're popping up, you're doing everything in your power to get on and just be smart about the approaches that you're taking in the sport. it's like, bro, like naturally you're gonna get onto the big opportunities.
Yeah.
Naturally you're gonna float onto the big stage because people like you.
For
They'll
sure.
I'd be like, oh, like you need a 54. Oh, hey, Ellis, hey, we got an opportunity for
Yeah.
you because people like you.
Yeah.
But if no one likes you, it's like, bro, what you're not gonna get nothing. People are just like, you're never gonna get the opportunity because you're not putting yourself out there. You could be a likable person, but you're not putting yourself out there for people to know.
For sure.
You're not making those because it really is connections. As much as being a good fighter is priority number one. Because if you get the opportunity and you're not a good fighter, you're gonna get washed, right?
Mm.
But people aren't creating these opportunities for themselves through the networking, through the social media and stuff like that. And that's something you're doing really, really well.
Yeah. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, and also I wanted to get into the Muay Thai Magic a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Because I heard a little bit of the start, but I want you to tell people because my audience may not know the start of Muay Thai Magic. You own Muay Thai Magic, the page.
Yeah.
Then you grew it into a brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so how did that start? Like, what is the process?
It started very small, so I was just sat and I was like, oh, to be honest, I wanted to grow an online business for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted something where like I just knew that online business is the future,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried many options before with various other things, and nothing I was ever interested in. I wouldn't stick it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why I don't just try my passion? So I
Mhm.
thought, oh, okay, I'll start to make a page, and the name Muay Thai Magic came to my mind. I thought it sounds like it rings a little bit, it sounds cool.
Yeah.
So I just made an Instagram and started to share and promote fighters in the UK. And nothing, wasn't really thinking much of it. I was just promoting it, building the following, and the following was just growing fast, like 10K a week, bro.
Damn.
Really quick. This was back in 2020 lockdown or 2019.
Okay.
So every day I was just like posting, and then I made a website. I was doing like blog articles, tutorial videos.
Mhm.
During this lockdown, I had so much time,
Yeah.
so I was just like trying to put it to good use and create something. And then we did the podcast, as we said before, interviewing every week, one interview with an elite level fighter.
Yeah.
So the page got naturally a lot of traction during this time because I was putting good content out.
Yeah.
And then over like 3 years, which it's been now, I've just added more things. I was like, how can we really turn this into a brand for Muay Thai?
Yeah.
Which we have. We've got like merchandise, sponsoring fighters. I've got gyms taking custom merch. This like this.
Mhm.
So like collaboration stuff.
Is this something you do alone?
Everything alone.
Okay.
Everything alone. I've done it myself. I mean, it's hard to balance with fighting, but it's a passion, man.
Yeah.
We have like elite level fighters wearing it, and I'm lucky. Like with the connections I've built, as we said before.
Yeah.
I've had people wear it because they're my friend,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been able to have some good level fighters promote the brand and support it.
Yeah.
And that's the goal. Just like promote Muay Thai, promote fighters, give back to people, and build a strong brand.
Yeah, definitely. So what is it like for you? You create content for your page, right?
Yeah.
That's different than creating content for yourself. So how is that different? Like what's the difference? What are the key elements there that are different? Like, do you see it harder promoting yourself? Do you see it about the same as promoting the page? What are the differences there?
I think it's very similar format in the structure. So it's like you'll take, for example, you jump on someone's fight news, or if someone does something really well, you make sure you reshare it in like a fight or something, like a knockout or something cool.
Yeah.
Tutorial based stuff always does well. You know, you just gotta think like, okay, I'm building an audience of people who like Muay Thai.
Yeah.
What do they want to see?
Yeah.
Okay, they want to see knockouts. They want to see a tutorial how they can get better. It's really easy. You just gotta step back and think, as a person who's not a fighter maybe, but wants to be.
Yeah.
Because all fighters, we're here, right? And then there's people here who are just trying to look up to the fighters.
Yeah.
They're the people you're sourcing for.
Yeah.
So you're showing them these people, tutorials from them, knockouts from them, good things they've done. And obviously the fighters, they're getting reward as well. They're getting exposure.
Yeah.
But really the audience is that below sea of people that love Muay Thai, they're purists, they want to learn. Yeah. So anything you can do to provide value to them is going to work, Yeah. And I try to do that the same with my own profile, but less tutorial based, more just like maybe inspiration, fights, things, clips with a bit of text, Yeah. Similar format.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's something that people will run into that's a little bit difficult is that especially if you don't have a lot of fights, like back home in America, you don't have a lot of fights. People only post when they have a fight, and they only post like oh yeah, I got some sparring rounds today. Like everyone knows that photo. It's like, yeah, I got some rounds, got like that. So how do you? That's not what you do, but I'm just saying, like, you know, for people that do that.
Sometimes, mate.
Yeah, a little flex, you know, a little.
If you go down my Instagram, maybe.
A little thirst trap for the ladies.
Yeah, for sure.
You're gonna get fucking slapped, bro.
Oh, game over now.
Yeah. But no, when you have a lull in fights, because I run into a similar problem. When you have a lull in fights, what kind of content are you putting out there? It's like you don't even have a fight lined up. There's nothing out there. You're just training. You're just going through the motions in training, doing the maintenance training basically. So how do you deal with that when you don't have a fight or nothing like that for your own page? Yeah,
that's what I was basically just in before I came to Thailand. So I didn't fight since October until May was the start. I think end of April. I thought.
Yeah.
So it's a good few months. I was just like posting old photos of fights, old videos, and then like maybe the odd sparring clip or pad clip in the gym. Just volume, you know. I don't overthink my Instagram. I don't think you need to really make things perfect. Yeah. Sometimes you can really edit a video, spend the time, make it look really good, film it, and it gets no views.
Yeah.
And I post one sweep that was inspiring, and it gets like millions of views.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's just the game. Like you can waste a lot of time by overthinking. Obviously, you need the good quality.
Yeah.
But just don't overthink it. Just press. You know, volume. Yeah. Yeah, at least like once a day or every 2 days minimum.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. Post an old photo, put a caption to the audience. Oh, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
Try create engagement with your audience. You know?
Yeah, definitely. So now that we talked a little bit about like the social media aspect and the fact that you own a brand, so you get both sides of it.
Yeah.
You get like the business owner side, sponsoring fighters, and you also get like on your side, like on the fighter side, like you have to go out and kind of look for the sponsors, right?
Yeah.
So has owning a company helped you in your own way for making connections and sponsorships and collecting sponsorships and that sort of thing?
It has, and it has at the same time. For me, like in Muay Thai, I think when you own a company, naturally a lot of Muay Thai companies don't approach you because they might think, you know, like especially gear companies and stuff, they might think, oh, he doesn't want to be sponsored because he's got his own brand or whatever, which is normal. Open-minded people may want to collaborate. So like MTM and youth sport, we're going to do a collab.
Oh, sick.
So that's why I'm in Thailand as well.
Nice.
And this is the way forward, you know, like. With business, there's a big sea of people and money. There's no competition. Everyone can eat.
Yeah.
We're all Muay Thai brands. Why not collaborate? You know?
Yeah.
Bring the audience together. So this is good. We're going to do that. But I think seeing how I run the business has helped me change my mindset of getting sponsors for other companies, which I have done. I've had some good support, as you can see here. I've got some good sponsors.
Yeah.
Shout out to them people if you can see, who have supported me and made things easier along the way.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You know, but again, it's just relationships. Sometimes the sponsors, they're like people you've met and had a good conversation with.
Yeah.
And just because they see you're friendly or you're a nice person, they want to help.
Yeah.
If you're just never talking and you're just like moody all the time, or, or you seem like that character, you're not gonna go anywhere, bro. You know, you have to change your character.
Yeah.
It's true, eh?
Yeah, dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, just like 10 names off the top of my head that we won't say. We'll cut out. I'm just kidding. No, but so as a brand owner, I want to talk a little bit about sponsorships, right? Yes. Because that's a lot of thing that fighters struggle, and it's very necessary, you know, in our sport. So let's talk about what would you look for in a fighter that you want to that you would sponsor.
I just think like pressure, consistency, and pressure. Someone who I really feel wants it, fighting regular, constantly training. Even if they lose, they're back at it. You know, got a follower base that loves them. Like a fighter that springs straight to mind now, Josh Hill in the UK. Right now he's on a win streak. He's got no fear of who he fights. He's taking any opportunity that comes. Big names. He ain't scared of no one. He just works hard, but he's genuinely loved by his people in the gym. You can see that, and that's not for no reason. That's because of character.
Yeah.
So they're the type of people, even if he was to lose a fight, you'd still want to sponsor him.
Yeah.
Because of who he is.
Yeah.
You know? Obviously you want to be sponsoring winners.
Yeah.
As a brand. That's a business point of view.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's more like I might see someone who does really well and I just think, you know what, you deserve to. It's a simple thing, just send them some gear. It's just a token of I've seen your hard work.
Yeah.
You know, well done, man. Keep going.
Yeah.
That's it. And then other sponsors is more like a bit more, how to say, like maybe business street. Like, okay, I want this from you. You give me this.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a business agreement.
Right.
You know, there's different types of sponsors.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
To what extent are you able to sponsor? Do you go sometimes you're like taking care of you, everything like is there ever sponsorships that happen like that? Because you're saying there's different degrees. Like it might just be like some gloves sometimes. It might be like here's a shirt, or it might be like, hey man, here's a couple $100, you know, for your gas or something.
It's like this, spontaneous.
Yeah.
But some fighters we have like a mutual agreement. Okay, they represent the brand. Every time they fight, we do. That's one of the niche things that my company do. We do customized gear.
Mm-hmm.
So every time they fight, they get a custom pair of shorts, custom T-shirts.
Okay.
We make them look fresh, and then we make sure that we're promoting their fights.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like this. It's like they represent us, they give back, they promote, and then we promote them, and it's like a mutual agreement.
Yeah, that's interesting. So how have you run into any like hiccups? Because obviously fighters are not business people.
Yeah.
Any hiccups where you feel like you're getting like shorthanded? Or,
for sure, bro. It happens a lot. Like you send someone, they don't really post, they don't do nothing with it.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like unappreciated. Or like you send to them, and the next week they're with a different brand, and it's you know, this happens a lot. But you know, sometimes from a business point of view, I might think, why have they done that? But then they genuinely don't think like that.
Yeah.
They don't have that business head, which is why we have to educate people. Like for longevity, you need loyalty.
Yeah,
it's the key with anything. Like if imagine you sign to one, and then next week UFC call, okay, maybe you offer better money. That's different.
Yeah.
But if I'm just going to jump there now.
Yeah.
You know, like this is not good for your name.
Yeah.
So it depends. Like I think if more people knew how to work, okay, I'm loyal, we give back, we're both loyal, then we're both gonna grow.
Yeah.
If they saw this, it would be better.
Yeah.
I think not everyone thinks like that.
Yeah, I get that.
You know.
I think with sponsors, it's similar to having a relationship with a coach.
Yeah.
Like when you trust your coach, you'll follow him, you know, to the end of the world.
For sure.
You know, and when you have a connection with your sponsors, you're just like on the same page. It's like, hey man, I got this. Like I might need. It's like way ahead of you, bro. I got you. You know.
Yeah.
And you don't force these things. You know, I've learned in my pursuit of sponsors that like when you try to chase them, it's just like, bro, like they don't really want me. This isn't gonna work out. Like, you know, it's like on the fighter side, it's like, well, I'm doing too much. They don't want to do anything, right? On the business side, and then on the business side too, you could be like, man, I'm chasing this fighter. I really want, like, I don't know, let's say, for example, I want like Conor McGregor, you know, just to throw a random name. It's like, I want this guy, and you send him stuff, and you're like, please, man, I'll give you money. It's like, dude, this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna be beneficial. So it has to feel like it has to mesh, where it's like, oh, sick, I'm a fan, you know, or like someone that's like already copping. Like for example, one of my sponsors says, bro, I have people reach out to me that have never even bought my gear. Yeah. Like, you know, it's like they never even wore a shirt. They never purchased nothing, you know? And they're like just reaching out like, yeah, man, I'm just try. It's like, bro, we don't have a relationship. Like, how do you develop that, right?
Yeah, I have people message the Instagram who don't even follow us.
Yeah.
And
who
don't even follow us, and they'll just put want to give me gear or something really basic, and I don't even reply. I don't even reply.
Yeah.
Like, and this is in any industry. I know other people who are working in other things who get the same. Like someone would just message them direct, not even a hello.
Yeah.
To soften the eyes, or you know, just want to give me gear, can sponsor, you want to collaborate. You know, like where's the time and effort gone into that? You're not getting a reply.
Yeah.
And then there could be someone else who doesn't even have much of a following or is not a big fighter, but they've put this nice thing, I've been wearing your brand for a while, I really would appreciate this.
Yeah.
And then my brain's like, oh, you know what? He's put the effort in.
Yeah.
Just a change of language.
Yeah, definitely. I think how you phrase things is very, very important in the pursuit of sponsorships and what that looks like. And
you've got to show that at the end of the day, what are you bringing to the company?
Exactly.
You know, it's not just about, okay, I don't care if you're a famous fighter
Yeah.
and you just message me a blunt response. There's loads of famous fighters.
Yeah.
You know? But if you're going to come and say what you can bring to the company, then it's going to work. You know?
Yeah. So approach with a plan is very important.
Yeah.
So have kind of like a foresight of where you want it to go, not just whatever, you know, like
give me gear, I'm a superstar.
Yeah. No, I totally understand that, and that's like and with fighters, I think every time you uneducated fighters, I think
which most are.
Yeah.
We're not this wise, sorry.
I wanted to go a little hot, but let's go.
I'm in,
hot
bro.
takes, let's go. Screw every fighter. No, but when you you're not gonna get every sponsor that you go.
No.
But you have to use, it's like a fight, it's like losing a fight. You have to use that experience to build on the next one.
Yeah.
Right? So if it's like, hey, sponsor gear, it's like, hey, mate, that's not working. I tried this 10 times, this isn't working. How can I do this? Like, hey, what's up? Whatever. And it's like, hey man, you might get a reply. Hey man, we're good. Hey man, thanks for reaching out or whatever. We don't have any room on our team anymore, or and that's not a no. It's like if they had the space, like you might get a shot, you know, or it's like, or hey man, let's give it a little bit of time, let's see how your career goes, you know, and that's still like, okay, 2 fights, I'll reach out again, like that kind of thing. So you have to leave the door open. If you just go in and just like, give me gear.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, how many people are sending that message?
Yeah, and I'm sure that maybe you've run across into fighters where it's like, hey man, I'm a little busy right now, I don't have time to talk about it, or maybe it's like, hey, like I like what you're doing, keep doing it, let's talk in a few months. That kind of thing, sure, right?
Yeah. Or like sometimes fighters you really want, you don't realize they have sponsor already, and you know, it's a bit of a game. Yeah, definitely, and it's a big learning curve for fighters for sure. So I don't know. I'd like to see someone put something together. It's like, hey, this is how you like get some sponsors. This is how you like approach. You know, this is how you put a plan together, like that kind of thing. Because it's really lacking, and it's starting to become more the norm. So the people that are good at this, that know how to, it's like win friends and influence people. You know, like the book, like how they know how to make friends and they know how to have an influence. Yeah. Those are the people that are coming ahead. So if those people mesh with being good fighters, dude, it's like, bro, you skyrocket. You know, it's like, look at people like McGregor. Like he was able to mesh everything together, and he had the skills to back it up. And it's like, boom, you know, you win the team, you get the team, you get all
the back
falls into place, right?
Yeah, man. So I think that's it's really important. And with fighters, I hope just based off what we talked about right now, they get a little bit better idea of like what to do and what not to do, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Another thing that I was really, really interested about for you was you told me that you were recently converted over to Islam. Yeah. And that's interesting because like on our side of the world, we don't really hear about that. It's like a very like, it's almost like I've heard about someone maybe being Muslim, but I've never like interacted or been able to like ask questions or like what the conversion, what it entails, that kind of thing. Yeah. So what was that like for you? Like what drew you to the religion? What drew you to converting over?
It's more like, as you say, in the UK as well, it's uncommon, I would say, for a British person to convert to Islam. We're not born amongst that. But when I moved to Dubai, my opinion of Islam before moving to Dubai was very different to what it is now. Through like just surroundings and media, as you know.
Right. Yeah.
And when in Dubai, I came across many people and the religion, and like I was assessing how they act. To be honest, my whole life I've always been spiritual, right? So I've always believed in something, a higher power. And I've read various books on like the law of attraction, and the science of it and how it's been proven, and like the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, how that links to the universal mind. It goes very deep, you know, the quantum world, and
familiar.
For me it was like, this is too complex of a world to be an accident. That was my original thoughts. And then I started to read the Quran, and like I had questions to like almost sort of that I weren't sure, and I'd ask someone like, but what about this? And then they'd give me an answer, and I'm like, all right, that makes sense. And slowly, like my opinion changed. I'm fortunate to come across some good people. My mate Furkat Beck in Dubai was a big influence for me. I'll always thank him. He took me to Jummah So I started to feel that during my prayers on the Friday, right?
Okay.
And the feeling I got when I was in the mosque, the masjid, I can't describe it, bro. Like it was just a mad feeling of like peace,
Yeah.
you know. And it's something like people can't understand with words. It's just you. For me, it was like magnetic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like my life, I've been directed towards it. I've seen it. I've studied it. Magnetic feeling towards it. So yeah, like after around 2 years in Dubai, of sort of thinking about it, I did my shahada.
Mm-hmm.
Shahada is when you say the phrase to become a Muslim officially.
Oh, okay.
So it's saying like I believe only in one God, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was it. Been 3 or 4 months now Muslim.
Oh, nice.
Properly. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so, what does that entail? So, there's other religions that are pretty commonly known. Like you know what being a Christian entails. You know what like being most people have a general knowledge on like in America or like where you're from, right? Of what that entails. So, what does being Muslim entail? Like you know.
So for me, it's just a way of life. So the deen is just a lifestyle, a way of acting, some guidelines, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the book of the Quran, that's how I see it. It's the way of being, things you stand for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the way to act, be a good person, peace. Like this. So I actually, when I read it, I conform with many things that are in it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very crazy for me because being like someone who wasn't really looking at Islam ever, to read things and think, whoa, I already sort of agree with that.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, I fit with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you pray 5 times a day. That's one of there's 5 pillars, right? You have to pray, act among the life of what's in the book.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good. But other religions like Christianity, they don't really stand for anything, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so for me, if there's a God which I believe, there's going to be a guideline for sure.
Yeah.
So that's why I moved towards Islam.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of fighters very successful fighters that you see that are in this religion.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, I don't know, because again, I'm still very foreign. Like that's why I want to ask some questions. But it seems like when people are really in like 100%, you're talking like 5, like doing the whole like Ramadan, doing like the 5 prayers a day, like Khabib's whole camp, like it's non-negotiable,
Yeah.
So, I think that kind of takes away the crazy edge of a fighter, like the distractions,
Not just in fighting. So I have this same thing. So in Dubai, I train with a lot of Uzbekistan fighters, Dagestan, and they're all Muslim. So, like for example, Hamzat Chimaev and fighters like that come to our gym. TK MMA, shout out to them, best gym in Dubai.
And they're rocking your gear, dude. Let's have a video.
Shout out to Tam Khan, he's the owner of the gym. Also a Muslim from the UK, you know. So going off on a tangent a little bit, when I see UK Muslim, Moroccan Muslim, Dagestan Muslim, Uzbekistan Muslim, Arab Muslim, your perception of Muslim changes, you know, because before you think only certain race is Muslim. And I said, okay, different nationalities are Muslim, so it's not just them people.
Yeah.
So that opened my mind also.
Okay.
Different types of people. So in the Dubai gym, they're very much like that. What you said about Khabib. Prayer time comes, okay, we're training. Yeah, stop, pray, and then back to train. Discipline, you know, and not just in fighting. You talk about peace. Just in life, the peace I've felt since doing my shahada is different, bro. Very different. Less ego, you know. I don't know. I can't describe why, but I think it's like when you realize we're all the same, and God is the power. It removes your ego.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
When you're praying in the mosque, you're next to like many different nationalities. Some are cleaners, some are rich, some are builders, but we're all one. You know, and that's very good for to be humble. You know, we're all the same. Doesn't matter if someone has money, someone has a big house, someone has nothing. You're no different. You know, and that was what I was very happy about that change in me, and I think it's genuinely helped me in many aspects, like business and fighting. I feel calm. I feel like it's like everything's taken care of. Yeah. You know, as long as I pray, as long as I'm good, it's taken care of. The path is written already. You know, no need to stress.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw Khabib say that. I think I don't know who, but it was a quote. I saw a video of him. He's like, you just fight your heart out, brother.
Yeah.
He's like, just fight your heart. He's like, God already knows. You just try your hardest. God already knows what's gonna happen.
This is it. This is it. Like for sure. Like as long as you do your best and you train hard, everything's written already. Only God can give it you. But that's why it's important for people to stay on track, because you see a lot of people who have success, and then they get ego and they're like, oh, look at what I've done.
Yeah.
You know, look at the person I am. Look at all the money I have. And shouting and talking too much.
Yeah.
You know, religion, it brings you back down to being humble. You know, God can take, this is what I think, God can take everything away from you at any time.
Yeah.
You know, so don't ever like forget your blessings that you've got now.
Yeah.
Because it can go like this.
Yeah.
You got to be humble, you know?
Yeah. No, that's a good take. Make me think a little bit about what
bro.
it is, you know?
And it's opened my mind, bro, for sure. I wasn't like this before too much.
Yeah.
I've had times maybe where I'm a bit too much up, talking too much Instagram.
Yeah.
And Islam's made me pivot. Just work hard, keep your head down, and everything else will be taken care of.
Yeah. So it just allows you to let go of everything and just focus on your work. You know.
Yeah.
All the things that could ramp you up or rile you up. Yeah.
For sure.
I understand that. It's almost too like a. It's like not let go, but it's What was it? I had it. It comes and goes, like you said. So it's like a key word that you'll say that it goes. But hey, we'll cut
be
that
submissive.
out.
You know, submissive to God. That's the key.
Yeah. No, it's something that's very interesting to me because I've also been very spiritual. I've partaken in different religions, and stuff like that throughout my life. But I'd never really heard of people converting, and that's also something that's very it's something that's very new these days. Yeah. Like it's not a lot of people are converting to religion. Like I was talking to my girl about it. Like it used to be like a big thing. Like you used to hear about it more. Like, oh, Christianity or Catholic, I just became this or I just became that. And it's becoming less and less of a norm these days.
This is the exact thing, bro. Like for me, seeing the Western world, some of the things that have become normal now. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but certain things I don't think are right that are on the media and stuff. And like, I see it being like quite satanic. And like, I feel like everyone is a religion of some kind, whether they believe it or not. Yeah. So if you're not Islamic or Christian, you believe in something. Yeah. Even if it's subconsciously. Yeah. You know, you're conforming to society in some way, some set of guidelines, some sort of programming that you've got, whether that's what you've learned from your surroundings. That's like a way of being, a way of acting, and this is what Islam is. But it's just that Islam is a good way of being, a good set of guidelines, to follow. So without this, and everyone's doing their own thing, off on doing anything they want, God knows where the world's going to go. So that's how I see it. I see the Western world being a bit crazy, doing anything, no rules, and then there's Islam, which is guidelines, a way of being, acting. I'm for sure going to want to follow this.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's almost like so I remember what I was trying to think of. It makes you not buy your own hype.
This is the key.
Yeah. So I what I've noticed with many fighters, even myself, like I get a little bit of success or something, and you start to believe what everyone tells you about yourself. And when you start to believe what everyone else believes, that's when you see people go downhill. You buy your own hype. Yeah. But when you're doing like you're practicing like you are, like you're practicing your religion like you are, these people are just like they don't hear it. They don't even care. Just like, I don't know, man, that doesn't even matter to me. I just like training, I like fighting, and I'm doing my service. Like it's like it almost keeps you from buying your own hype, yeah?
Yeah, there's no hype. This is where it becomes like losing your ego, because we are nothing. Like we are nothing. God gives us everything. So if you win a fight, thank him. That's it. I did good. I won a fight because of him. Don't say, oh yeah, I did this, a performance from him. So like, thank God, that's it. Next one, go again. Rather than think, yeah, I'm the best. I'm gonna smash everyone. No one can touch me. I'm the king. Blah blah blah. Yeah. It's good for promotion, yes. Yeah. I mean, we've all been guilty of it. I've been guilty of talking too much on Instagram, and like, I've stripped it back now. Yeah. I still post, but the concept of my talk is different. Try to be more humble. Don't forget that anything can be gone like this.
Yeah. I was actually even wondering, like, if that, if joining like Muslim, you're a part of the big like the Dagestani crew. You're
I
like, you're
am,
just like,
yeah.
you know,
I am.
it's like
am.
it's like the opposite of the Illuminati. You know, you're just like, I converted. Oh, Khabib's like, what's up, my boy?
That's true. But this is another thing with Islam. It's a brotherhood, bro. And like, I've never felt so much love in my life since doing my shahada. I have people on the other side of the world who don't even know me. Everyone has to a certain degree, but I've had more of it. Muslim community really do support each other. It's within the laws of Islam, you know. Support, make sure that everyone's got the same as you. Make sure a brother doesn't go without. You know, we're all one. And they want you to succeed. They support your success. Sometimes in the UK, bro, like people are just waiting for you to lose. Like even your own friends won't even share your fight on Instagram.
Yeah,
you know what is this? People is crazy. Like just jealous of each other. When you believe in God, you don't have that jealousy because you know that what you do today is not going to take away from my success. My path and your path are completely two different paths. You can't change my path. You know, so then you don't have that jealousy. You don't have that like envy because you know that your path is gonna go somewhere where it's gonna be good.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's
quite deep, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it actually it makes me think because for myself, like I consider myself maybe in a place where you were, where it's like, if you don't have a religion, say like me and my girl talked about this a lot, where if you don't have a religion, you kind of have to make your own morals and your own values. So it's when you find a religion that can sync up with you, like you have, it makes life a lot easier because it's like, oh, you already thought about everything that I was thinking of that I would have needed to process myself, like what is good and what is bad.
There you go.
You know, so it just, you already have that all before you. Maybe even some things that you may not have thought of before, like you've ran into these problems, but you run into a new problem or situation in life. And you're like, well, what's right and what's wrong here? You know, it's almost like a decision has already been made. It's like, oh well, now I know what to do with this. Now I know what to do with that.
100%.
Right?
I have that every day, like with my religion now, because I'm very new to it. I don't know everything. You know, I'm still learning. So there are times like situations happen, and I'm thinking, oh, how would that be? What's the right decision? You know, and like I'm still learning and trying to improve, but like it adds that conscious thought before you do anything. Even it's the most trivial thing, like for example, halal food. Before I come to Thailand, I never had to think of halal food. In Dubai, everything's halal, you know, because it's a Muslim country. Now in Thailand, I really feel, oh, now I know I'm Muslim, and I have to chase halal. I have to find that halal food, you know. So even that small decision, people think that's trivial, but in Islam, that's a big decision. Choosing to eat the halal food, choosing not, you know, and that's a conscious thought, you know, like conscious thoughts you have to make every day, like what's the right thing for my religion.
So what, can you break that down? What is halal food? Like, I know it's simple, but I don't know what it is. I just know it's like,
so there's certain things you can't eat, which is around like pork. But halal food, halal is when the animal is slaughtered, you have to say the name of God. And it has to be slaughtered a certain way. It's supposed to be like more pain free. By the neck, on the artery, you know. So that's how you should be eating food that's had God's name said over it. That's what it says in the Quran. So like it's basically now like you have these farms where like animals, God knows, getting electrocuted and all sorts. It's not really morally good, you know. So yeah, but
damn, electrocuted. We have not heard of that yet.
You never heard that? Yeah, man.
I heard of the crazy slaughtering of this, like very just like inhumane ways,
like chicken massive electrocution fields.
What?
You didn't know that?
No, dude, what?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible, eh? Maybe I should go vegan. It was very similar actually. It's a funny one. It's like being vegan because vegans, they struggle to find places to eat. My mate here, Manlis, he's like that. So it's a similar thing. You have to think before you eat and stuff.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, and it's just that's a really good perspective on what religion is, and I think it is very interesting that these set of guidelines are influencing your life so well. Like you're saying, it's already been a big shift just in these 3-4 months. Do you think that there is a honeymoon phase with religion?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay. Of course. There's going to be times, you know, it's hard, especially now. I think for me, it's even harder because people, like, the religion is perfect, right? If you're a perfect Muslim, the book is perfect, but humans are not. So people judge Islam by the Muslims, which is the wrong way to do it. So you might see a Muslim do something wrong and think, yeah, Islam is bad. Islam is not bad. It's just that they're not going by the guidelines. So for me, being a convert, I feel like I have more eyes on me now. Oh, how's he being with Islam? How's he changed? How's it affecting him?
Yeah.
And like, I'm not saying I'm perfect with it, and maybe there'll be times where it's very hard, but like, I'm gonna do my best to follow the book, and keep that way of life.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. Now let's move on to a lot lighter topic of conversation. This is something that everyone always, I think, outside looking in, will assume. It's like, do you get more girls now that you are a fighter? How was your love life? Like, was it like I became a fighter and then there was just like waves of women coming to you, or?
I'd say so, but funny enough,
I'd say so.
the girl I'm with, I met her in the gym.
Okay.
Yeah, so I feel like it's always going to be an environment to meet people. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So, how long you been with your girl?
A year.
A year now.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So before that, are you just a wild boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I may have been a bit bad. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because like sometimes I feel like that will like cloud your training. It's like it's another thing. It's almost better to have a girl because then you don't have to go out.
This is it. This is how I am as a person. To be honest, like I'm very much. I like to have everything in place, routine, as you say. Yeah. But like, it's true as a fighter, and this is another thing why in Islam, it's good for a fighter because you're not allowed to just be going with many women and everything. So, the Islamic fighters, they're so focused because then they haven't got that distraction. You talk about Khabib and the Dagestanis, just train. They have wives, they have a wife, and they just train. They're not there messaging people, but I've always been like this also. My character is I'm not there one to be chasing girls and messaging, wasting my time, For me, girl, if it comes up in life, which it did, then great.
Yeah.
But I'm not someone wasting my time every day, like just on Instagram or liking pictures. That's never been my character. I'm very much a focused person, train, business.
Yeah.
With my time, spend my time wisely.
Yeah.
So if it works for me to have a girlfriend, a wife, whatever, and that's taken care of, we're good, and then focus on business and success.
Yeah, no, I get that for sure, man. And it's weird because like I think a lot of people like there's a lot of things that people are like, and I like to talk about dating because I was so girl crazy. Like I was just like there was points in training where I just cut it out completely, like even just like almost like the cult into the borderline culty, like no fap, for like years on end, and like no girls, nothing. And then there was also times where I was just a wild boy, where I was just like going out, and then that was training, and then after training, it's like I know what I'm doing after training, going out and trying to find whatever, get into some trouble, get into something. But so it's now that I have a girl, like when people like ask me, it's like I used to tell people like I have two vices. And now I only have one vice because my vice was women and food, and now I got a girl, so I don't have to worry about like going out and like pursuing or just like coming up with a witty pickup line or just like thinking of a way to go out or like where's the best place to go meet somebody. It's been very it's very helpful when you have someone that it understands the lifestyle too, because I think as fighting it is a very interesting way of dating because like I had my girl on the first episode and she's talking about how like you can't plan the same when you're dating a fighter.
It's very hard. It's very hard. Like now I'm in Thailand. My girl's in Dubai. By the time I'm back, I've been gone like 2 months. I go to fight, travel. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But luckily she's very understanding, as you say. But yeah, you're right. Like just chatting to girls is just a distraction.
Yeah.
Same with like going out to drink or whatever. It's just taking you away. It doesn't matter if you're a fighter or not. If you're doing business, anything, you're taking them hours away from your success. Yeah. Chasing. And I find when you really work on yourself anyway, it comes anyway.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I didn't chase the girl on me. It just happened.
Yeah.
Like we met each other and that's it.
Yeah.
Just from attraction, from like being in a good place.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you don't need to chase and really try hard, and it's wasting your time. Like.
Yeah, everyone always says like when it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen anyways.
Yeah,
You know, and that's like it took some time to understand that because I had approached it in both ways, like we just said. Like I've gone out and done the whole nine, you know, and there's other times where I've been,
yeah,
you know, just like only training, just like in my own. Almost, you know, like I call it culty because there's no like religion where it's like, all right, don't like jack off or don't like go
yeah,
out
yeah.
or don't get laid or whatever, you know. So, but there
Mhm.
was been point in my lives throughout training where that was it. I was like, dude, only training. I'm not letting anything else take my attention, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
But I think when you're a fighter, you see what people are fighting for.
yeah,
Some people, they want the titles, they want this, and there's also the people that say they want the titles and they want, you know, like to compete at the highest level, and then they get a significant other, or they get friends, and then you
yeah,
see them fizzle out,
for
you know.
sure, bro.
So you see,
I've seen that many times, bro.
yeah,
Like fighters, like so talented.
yeah,
They get a girl, and then all of a sudden they're in happy honeymoon phase and
yeah,
like lazy, going out to eat,
yeah,
drink.
yeah,
But you know, I've always been like I say, married to fighting, bro.
yeah,
Like, my heart doesn't let me. Like as soon as I slack a little bit, or feel like I am, even if I'm not, I feel like bad. I'm like, nah, training. I need to get on it, fit, strong. I need to
yeah,
smash a fight, you know.
yeah, yeah.
And I've been like that since 15, 14.
Mm-hmm.
Just every year the same, you know.
Yeah,
Look, I'm lucky. I have that sort of magnetic feel to it. To be
yeah,
fair,
yeah,
focus, you know.
yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah,
And it's funny because I think when you're dating someone that has a career like this, it's unpredictable. Like you could be the next big fight in the world, you can be the next McGregor, or you could be one of the ones that just, you know, you might be a local legend or something that, you know, there's definitely phases to it. The planning, I mean, we as fighters have to be very selfish with our time, you know, with what we do, what we give attention to.
yeah,
So there's that communication aspect of it. It's not like we're not really easy people to date, you know. So I think when like there's fighters that like when they find a good girl, like you see like Poirier or McGregor, like their girls, like they've been with them since the jump, you know.
for
So when you
sure.
find a girl like that, you're like keeping this one because dating is a hard concept as a guy. It's almost like I talked about it before. Where it's almost like sometimes you're a little bit of a fetish. It's like, you know, like I got used to like girls talking about me being like, oh, like telling their parents like after the first day, I want to date with a fighter, you know. It was like they would tell them about me, but then it wouldn't be that weird because I was like, okay, I get it. You just want to tell something, you know, because it's not like a common thing that like you go and like go on a date with a fighter per se, you know. So it wasn't like a weird like, oh man, like this is weird. It was just like, okay, you want to show off, and then it like fizzles out, you know. So it's almost like for me, I was like, I'm either gonna be a rock star, like living that rock star lifestyle at the top, or I'm gonna have someone that goes up and to the top with me, and both are good, very good options, you know. Like there's just like it's very appealing on both sides, you know.
You gotta have one person that you're with because for me, having a girl is also like a support, you know.
Yeah.
Why have your success for yourself? You want to share it with someone.
Yeah.
You know? Everything you do, you want to share together. Have it with someone. What you're gonna share that with your mate.
Yeah.
You know, like yes, to a certain degree, but there's no like intimacy in that.
Yeah.
You need one girl. Push for success. Everything else is then taken care of.
Yeah.
You know, and like as you say, girls like fighters. Like my girl's like my biggest fan.
Yeah.
My biggest fan. Like really is, and that's like a real lucky thing.
Yeah. No, it's great to have a team because that even you talk to normal. It's harder, I think. I do believe it's harder today as a fighter. But you talk to even people with normal relationships. You know, they're like having a hard time to develop like a team strategy that like almost like a team chemistry and really become like a power couple and become like the best couple that they can be, you know.
But this is Western society, bro.
Yeah.
You know, they've lost the values of what a relationship is because of social media. Everyone's going out, doing their own thing. And this is another thing why I like the morals of Islam. It's like, okay, you have a wife, take care, you're together, you know, the old way of the man's responsibilities. I'm down for that, bro. Like, that's how it should be. The man provides. The man is the man of the house. Yeah. You know, not just like doing what he wants, going around. And the woman's doing the same. This is very bad, you know.
Yeah. You're like, I'm done with that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Discipline now. Focus.
Yeah.
I'm changed.
Yeah, you're changed. That's the point, bro. Right? Mission accomplished. That was the whole goal with the conversion. It's like you change.
They say when you convert, you're born again. You know. So you start again. Let's see.
Yeah. It's all from here. Yeah. All right, bro. Anything else that you would like to talk about? that I haven't touched over. I mean, I've touched over some things that I feel are very interesting about you. I think we've had some great conversation. Anything else that we feel like we left out, or some stuff that we could that might be interesting to the viewers?
Nothing specific. No, just the next fight for the WBC.
Yeah.
Fight
what's that like? Do you have an opponent?
Yeah. So what happened was when I left the UK, I was UK number 1 at 53.5.
Mm-hmm.
They took me out the rankings when I left the country because it's like you have to be there to defend the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Someone took the number 2 went to number 1, and then someone just beat him.
Mm-hmm.
So now they've got the number 1 spot, and then he called me out on a video, like saying he wants to fight me.
Oh,
fair enough. I've built my name. He wants to take that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then one promoter, they give me a good offer and the WBC European title on the line. So I took the offer. So I go to his home city in Liverpool in August to fight him for it.
Nice.
So take my spot back, take the belt, and then yeah, on to the next.
Hell yeah, bro! I love that. The WBC title is that's the one you want. Yeah,
exactly.
It's such a beautiful belt, and it's just everything that the sanctioning body kind of stands for. Like, just so well organized. That's
sure.
That's a nice one to have on your resume. Yeah,
it's the one everyone wants in the cabinet, isn't it?
Yeah, dude, for sure. That's awesome that you're getting that opportunity.
Yeah, lucky. Thank
Going
God.
back to reclaim your throne.
Exactly, that's how it feels. To be honest, there's a lot of pressure on this fight in some aspects. I've been gone for 2.5 years, so it doesn't matter who the opponent is. People are going to be like, well, what's happened in that 2 years? And you improved. You're still the same fighter.
Right.
Who are you now? You know. So I want to go back, make a statement, show what I've done. I'm a different level fighter than I was before.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, something I did want to talk about is you. Now that you are going back, you're gonna go reclaim your title. Where are you gonna stay after? You're gonna stay in the UK? You going back to Dubai? Are you gonna be living in Thailand? Like, what's the move after that?
I'll stay in UK for a couple of weeks to see family.
Okay.
And then I think I will go back to Dubai for a while. But the long term, I think I'm gonna be in Thailand.
Okay.
I want to move here, fight more regularly, fight on the One Lumpini show, which is gonna come soon.
Yeah.
It's a good opportunity here. Fight more often.
Yeah.
And the routine, it's better than Dubai, Wake up, train twice a day. I like routine.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot more moving parts when you aren't in Thailand.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, distraction, all sorts. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Whether it's social, commuting, work.
Yeah.
There's definitely other obligations, which is why I personally I live in Thailand now myself, and I'm like, that was the main focus, the main drive for us coming back to Thailand was it's easy. Not that it's easy, there's hardships, right? It's like anywhere, but it's easy for my training schedule. It's like, okay, I wake up, just like you said, wake up, train twice a day, go to jiu-jitsu. I'm doing my thing, and there's no driving, there's no working, there's no whatever, I have to drive back home. I drive 2 hours one way to get rounds in, so
this is the thing, yeah. And like in Dubai, there's not really many training partners for Muay Thai for me. I mean, it's a good place for business. The progress I've made for business and the connections you meet in Dubai is very good. But to progress as a fighter, you have to be in Thailand, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good place to be. It's the best place to be right now for Muay Thai, that's for sure.
For sure, yeah.
And we'll see how it goes for the MMA because they're starting to give UFC a little run for their money,
Yeah.
As far as promotion, they're the first US show.
I think give it 5 years, it's going to be interesting to see. Like, you've got one doing kickboxing, Muay Thai, MMA, and then you got UFC bringing in slap competition.
Yeah.
It looks more like WWE now.
Yeah. They did sign with WWE.
This is the thing. So I think people are going to start to see which one's more serious, and I don't know. UFC is always going to have a strong name, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think there's been a lot of conflict, but I guess only time will tell.
You need that US crowd. That's basically whoever's in the US is winning in the US is winning the world, isn't it?
Yeah.
That market's so big.
Yeah, it is
for sure.
But where can people find you, Ellis? Like where are you posting your content, brand and stuff like that? What Muay Thai Magic, your handles, the whole nine.
Yeah, I got many. So Ellis Barboza on Instagram and YouTube. If you want merch, MTM Sport. If you want to follow Muay Thai Magic for Muay Thai based videos, that's on Instagram and YouTube as well.
Awesome.
MTMsport.com for the merch.
Oh yeah. All right, guys. This has been another episode of the Who's Who podcast. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, brother.
That was good.
Appreciate it.